So okay, so you were just fuck it, fuck it.
I literally have nothing to do.
Uh, I had the 3 days off this week. It was really nice. Like we slept in, we went furniture shopping and all that. It was kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna get that expensive as fuck couch, even though I want it really badly.
Oh yeah, the couch I mentioned it's a joke from Slam and Salmon.
That's what I thought it was from. I couldn't remember if it was from that or if it was from Beer Fest.
Yeah, they're talking about the one guy. They're talking about what they want to do with the money, and the one guy's like, I'm gonna get a leather couch with a velvet dick hole in it."
I mean, it's funny.
That's such an underrated movie that nobody talks about.
But the Slam and Salmon? It's actually really funny. It's like, I wouldn't say it's their best, but it's still...
My favorite's still gonna be fucking Super Troopers.
Yeah, I mean, Super Troopers 2 was okay. What was the Club Dread? Did they do that?
That movie, you know what? That movie, not enough people talk about.
I fucking love that movie. It's a really good, like, horror comedy movie.
Dude, the moment when play Margaritaville, play Margaritaville. You're thinking of Jimmy. You're thinking of Pina Colada Burger. No, play Margaret. I wrote that song 3.5 fucking years before he wrote that goddamn piece of shit.
It's a good movie. Like I think, and you know, I think, like, Super Troopers is great. I really do love Beer Fest. I think Beer Fest is actually a really, really good movie.
I have to rewatch that. I think it's also just the fact that I'm not a drinker, so it's just some of it doesn't speak to me as much.
That's fair. Rose is asking if we have seen the Super Troopers they have on Netflix. Is it different than the movie?
Because all they ever made was 1 and 2.
Huh. I don't know. That's an interesting question. I don't know that I've seen anything. Lumia stream. Hold on. Just get my lights set up. And then I'm going to click on the go live. There we go. Whoa. Got nice and dark in here. Look at that. All right. Let's see. So if I click on this. Ooh. Uh-oh. Hold on. So my screen came up. It does this every fucking time. I had it up before we went live. Hold on. If I click in here, does that fix it? That does fix it. Hey. Hey, buddy. Look at that beautiful face. Look at him. He's so cute.
Yeah, this is going away soon.
You shaving? Oh, God.
By next weekend.
Why?
For the wedding.
Oh, yeah. Fair. Not Super Trooper? Slam and Salmon, Club Dread, Beer Fest. I said Beer Fest is one of my probably it's up there with Super Trooper is obviously the best of their movies, but I'd say Beer Fest is probably my second favorite, and then Club Dread.
For me, it would be Super Troopers, Club Dread, Slam and Salmon. Yeah, I decapitated him. It's decapitated, champ. Whatever, motherfucker.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I goofed. It's Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers, yeah. Okay.
Out of all the sequels, I've seen one of them. I think it was one of the CGI animated ones.
Those weren't too bad, actually. Those animated ones.
Oh, you know what's a real hunk of shit? I will always know what you did last summer.
Is that the second one?
Nah, that's I Still.
Okay.
Oh, it's worse than that. It's fucking bad.
Which one has Jack Black with white guy dreads?
Two.
Okay.
That's 2. That's I Still Know.
Oh, that's pretty bad, too.
This was... Oh, no, it's it's direct to video bad.
What is direct? Like, what? Okay.
Like it, dude. It's truly awful.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I've never seen it. I don't think.
Don't either that and don't watch Joyride 3. Not good.
I don't know if I saw Joyride 2.
I don't think I ever saw the second one. Either of you ever see some of those movies? It's like, oh, I have a free Redbox rental. Yeah, I'll rent this piece of shit and watch it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen. I didn't. Oh, I knew there was a sequel. I don't think I've ever seen it.
That's like I've seen Deep Blue Sea 2 and 3. 2 is like borderline unwatchable.
Do you mean sequels to Deep Blue Sea?
Yep. And 3 shockingly ties into part 2. But 2 is like borderline unwatchable.
What? I didn't even know these movies existed. Holy shit. Oh, no, I was just making sure I had your stream up. All right.
Hey, I never realized that Pauly Shore made a music video for a song.
Really?
I was looking at videos on Facebook, and it's like, you know how like you watch one thing, it'll start recommending like other things like anywhere you watch. I was watching some music video, and I'm scrolling through, and I'm like, it's Pauly Shore in his heyday.
Okay.
It's fucking terrible.
I don't think I've ever.
Oh, I'll have to post it because he's just talking like, oh, I'm wheezing the nugs and just his normal, weasel speak. So
Poor Pauly Shore.
Am I frozen?
We were for a second. It's okay.
Okay.
Oh wait, you're still frozen. Hold on. What the fuck? Hold on. I'm looking. Yeah, you're frozen. Hold on. Let me disable it and turn it back on. There we go. You're moving now. It's okay. You're okay, buddy. I saved you. I saved you. All right. All right. So this week we're going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to let Pumpkin take the reins here. Kind of start us. Yeah. So Pumpkin is going to be the main host. I'm going to kind of do producing on the back end.
Do you want to do one of the questions first, or?
Sure. You don't want to go right. It's your rodeo. It's your rodeo. You go for it.
Well, one of the questions I had, do you ever think of what's the most evil fictional corporation? Like when I first saw this, it was something I saw on Twitter like 2 weeks ago, and the image in the background was the Terminator. Skynet is not evil. The robots, the company before they took over, were perfectly fine. Did you ever think of who the most evil corporation is?
Oh, I kind of have an idea of where you're gonna go, just knowing you.
Oh.
So,
right back there.
Yeah, I know. So before you answer, let me give it a go.
Like I have a few that I could name, but that's the most.
In your mind, I know. I'm gonna say for me, the most evil fictional corporation. Like if you go comics, and you can say LexCorp or, well, I guess that's really it, right? Can't really think of another evil organization like that's a business in comics, but regardless, I would actually go Weyland Yutani from the Alien, right?
Yeah. Alien and Predator franchise.
Yeah, because like, at least like it seems like especially in Alien 1, maybe in Alien 2 as well. Actually, probably in all of them. Fuck it, like the first 3 at the very least. Their whole goal is to just Send people to get killed by alien to capture alien to use as weapon in war, right?
Yeah, and then it's aliens when they actually have it colonized.
Okay.
But yeah, the first one, like, they're pretty much pieces of shit.
Yeah. Paul Reiser worked for him, right? You know, Paul
Yeah,
Reiser's a piece of shit.
the second
No,
one, yeah.
I'm kidding, by the way. I'm kidding. Paul Reiser is a national treasure. Just for his role in Stranger Things alone.
Oh my god,
Yeah. But what about you? What do you think the most evil corporation, fictional corporation? We can say Facebook if you want to go real life.
Just right back here. Omni Consumer Products.
Omni Consumer Products. Why? They created RoboCop. They gave us a cop that was robotic.
Yes, they created RoboCop, but the second in command of the company, well, pretty much the entire company, because in part 2, they orchestrate a police strike, so much crime happens that they could buy up all the property in the city to make New Detroit. They orchestrate crime, drugs, police killings. Somebody that works for OCP puts the brain of a drug lord into a cyborg, a near omnipotent cyborg.
All right. I mean, hey, I think Weyland Yutani trying to basically capture the proven alien life and use it as a weapon is a little more evil. I don't know.
I wasn't doing it as a contest. I was just,
I'm not saying it's a contest. I'm just saying, like, in my view, I feel Weyland Yutani, but you're going OCP, which I totally get as well. Like,
they orchestrate police murders.
And to tie it back into your Skynet comment, me and Pumpkin, or me and Greg, whatever, we have both read the amazing RoboCop versus Terminator comic books.
Oh yeah, I didn't read that until like last year, I think.
And
it's a genius fucking idea.
Yeah.
It is a genius. Terminators are based on RoboCop.
Yeah.
And they get sent back to the past to kill Alex Murphy.
Yeah, so the Terminator original design is based off of the designs of RoboCop. So Skynet, whatever the company is for Skynet, is it just Skynet? Like,
yeah, it's Cyberdyne
okay.
Systems.
Cyberdyne Systems, there you go. They eventually buy out OCP, or it's like something along those lines. Basically, they get the schematics for RoboCop, and they create the Terminators based off of it. And it's like such a fucking genius idea that it works so well.
He goes to the future, and then he gets all like, fucking RoboCop, like
Terminatored up. Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed that comic series.
All right. Don't need to turn that off.
What's the movie tonight? By the way, everyone, Joe Bob Briggs, The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs starts again this evening.
I didn't see what it was though.
Motherfucker. I love Troma movies. It could be anything. Well, they did Troma's War, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a million others, so.
Joe Bob is back, hell yeah. So I'll be watching that probably after this recording, after we're done. Actually, well, after we're done, we're probably going to play something, but that's okay. Depending on how Pumpkin feels at the end, if he's too tired, because I know he had actually had a day of work, whereas your boy was off. But yeah. So do you want to? Well, I'm sorry. It's your ship. I'm sorry. Yeah,
hey,
go ahead.
You got some of the news stories if you want to go into that.
Yeah, let's go into some news. What do you got for me? Where do you want to start?
Well, you found a couple that involve comic books, like a certain short Canadian.
Okay, guess we're starting there. All right, here you go. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I turned you off. Here we go. That one. There we go. So what do we got? What's happening with the stud muffin that is Wolverine?
The story I read is they're possibly going to introduce him in a TV show, well, his own TV show. That, what I read, explores like all his different like versions of the character or stories. Yeah,
so to add on to that, they said it would be kind of like an anthology series. They compared it to American Horror Story a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I saw, yeah.
So basically, the first one would be based on Weapon X, like him becoming, like, getting the adamantium put on his bones and all that stuff. And then presumably the second series could either be about him in Canada with Alpha Flight and, like, this is like after the Weapon X stuff, or they could go into Madripoor, where he's Patch working, like, where he takes on the secret identity of Patch, which is literally just Wolverine with an eye patch on. How could you mistake Patch for Wolverine? There's no way whatsoever. Sorry.
It's like, how do you mistake Clark Kent, not, Superman, with a pair of glasses?
It's impossible. You can't tell that Clark Kent is Superman.
Yeah, 'cause the story I read is they basically made it seem as they're having a very hard time trying to figure out how to introduce the mutants to the MCU.
Are they really? So that doesn't make a lot of sense to me because of WandaVision, and this isn't really super duper spoilery, I guess, for WandaVision, but, like, they open, and, like, obviously Doctor Strange, what's the next Doctor Strange movie called?
Multiverse of Madness. So, like, that's like a super easy way to introduce mutants into the MCU. Yep.
Just have the multiverse.
The multiverse gets fucked up.
Exactly. And hey, Willie, how's it going? Just talking movies tonight with Pumpkin, or Homer, or Greg.
And Doctor Strange 2 is wrapping filming this week.
Oh, that's right. So that is guaranteed to have Elizabeth Olsen.
Yes.
And someone else. Didn't they confirm someone else was in that? Was Tom Holland in that?
No, Doctor Strange is in Spider-Man.
Okay.
I don't know if they've said Spider-Man is in Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Possibly. Although I think, from what I remember hearing, that his contract is up.
Who? Benedict Cumberbatch?
Spider-Man.
Oh, Tom Holland. Okay. I've really enjoyed WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier so far. So WandaVision I fucking adored.
WandaVision.
I don't want to get too we don't want to get too spoilery just because in case people haven't seen the entire series yet.
It's coming soon. Sooner or later, we're just going to start fucking talking about it.
Yeah.
WandaVision, for anybody that hasn't seen it, first 2 episodes, get through them.
Yeah.
And then you're golden.
Yeah, totally agreed. The first 2 episodes are basically just sitcoms.
It's set up. It's literally just
set up. Yeah.
Like, here's this world.
And then the rest of the series is so fucking amazing. Torch says he's got alcohol and he's drinking plenty of it. So Torch is having some computer issues.
I have alcohol.
No, that's juice.
No, there's actually alcohol in here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I won't talk spoilers, but I really enjoyed the MCU show so far. Yeah, so
I'm 99% caught up. I just have to watch the last episode.
Yeah, me and Pumpkin have both not watched today's episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I am really looking forward to it. I've been enjoying that series as well. It's basically like just a really long Captain America movie.
Dude, Loki TV show. One, it's bringing Owen Wilson to the MCU.
Wow. Had to. Sorry.
I'm not going to say no to Owen Wilson.
I won't say no to Owen Wilson either. Yeah.
That show just looks weird as fuck. In, like, the best way possible.
And of the 3 Marvel Disney Plus shows confirmed, or that are being made right now, that's the only one that's gotten a sequel.
They've... WandaVision... I don't see how they could, just based on the premise of the show.
No, like, if they're going to do another WandaVision show, it would have to be something different.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think they've mentioned a sequel.
They would, but if I have I'm almost guaranteed by the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, the Falcon will no longer be called the Falcon.
Wasn't he still called the Falcon even when he became Captain America?
No. He was Captain America.
Okay.
In the comics, at least. In the comics. I don't know about the show. So far, he is still the Falcon.
Here.
And Kurt Russell's son
Sweet, that's what I was
is amazing in Falcon Winter Soldier. I'm just saying.
Fans that send that guy death threats because you don't like his character, you're just fucking just pieces of shit. To not like someone's character and send him death threats, just go away. Just fuck right off.
Willie says, yeah, he's a good actor. Yeah, he really is. Like, and like he actually came off as like super sympathetic in the beginning of the show. Like, I actually felt for that dude. So
I want to mention something about it, but I can't.
Yeah, don't. We don't want to spoil anything.
I'll have to talk to you about it when we're done.
Okay. All right. You want to move into the next news?
What's the next one you have? I know, like you said, I was the host, but I don't remember what order you have everything.
It doesn't matter. You can just say something, and I can bring it up. Like, it's all good. I got you. I got you, homie.
Do your DVD news.
Okay.
That's all you.
This is all me. This is something I wanted to add into the news because it's fucking awesome. I even unmuted it because this is a video game trailer. We should not get any copyright strikes. Also, we're reacting to it. Or at least I am. So, yeah. Resident Evil DVD. This is.
Start, I have questions.
Go for it.
Have they said like who like the?
No. From this trailer, if you look at the guy who's on the hook, if we can get to it, I actually think it's Felix. I don't think it's any. It could be Wesker because he is wearing a suit.
Okay, so.
But
what do you think the killer is?
Either Tyrant or Nemesis.
I mean, I first thought of Liquor, but Liquors walk on all fours.
I mean, they have the Demogorgon, who kind of does both. But like the Demogorgon, when he's running, he is on two feet. So
I would think maybe Tyrant, since Nemesis had like a fucking bazooka attached to its arm.
That's true. I'm really kind of curious what the hell it's gonna be. What if it's just like generic zombies?
Won't matter to me.
Yeah, I know. But I'm hoping like the survivor is at least like Chris Redfield or Jill Valentine.
Like any of the characters from that series that you actually know the name.
I want it to be Mila Jovovich.
Okay. She's as synonymous with that series of games as any of the fucking characters.
This is true. But no, like I really thought that was kind of neat that they're bringing Resident Evil in. They announced it on the Resident Evil 25th anniversary like live stream they did. And they showed like a bunch of cool shit for Resident Evil 2, like the stuff from the village. There's going to be 2 demos that are coming out for the village, PS4 and 5 only though.
I didn't watch that. Did they make any mention of an HD remake of Part 4?
Yes. Well, I remember an HD remake. I don't remember if it was Part 4. It probably was.
It would have to, unless because they've already done
HD remake Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
4. Resident Evil 4. No. That was from 2016. What was Resident Evil? Capcom is working on a Resident Evil 4 remake. This was April 12th, so this is this week. There you go.
I mean, they've already done 2 and 3, and 2 was nominated for Game of the Year, so...
There it is right there. Capcom is working on a Resident Evil 4 remake.
Good. Because that one was amazing.
Capcom's in-development Resident Evil 4 remake has seen a major change of leadership due to disagreements over its direction, according to... Alright, whatever. More detail... Alright,
it's the same fucking game.
Yeah, hopefully for Pumpkin's sake, I hope that comes out.
Like, Capcom at least makes games. If it was Konami, then I'd be worried.
Konami, well, alright, I'm not going to go into video game stuff, but Konami announced a remake, or like a sequel to an NES game that was Japanese only. Weird. But that's okay. But yeah, there's my stupid like happy DVD news is that Resident Evil is coming to DVD. So there you go, Pumpkin. You want to move on to the next thing?
Was it the Last of Us TV show?
Sure, why not?
I don't remember the other news items we may have had.
Okay. Well, there you go. Why don't you tell me about The Last of Us?
That is Terminator Dark Fate. It's the guy that Gabriel Luna played the evil Terminator. I will say this. Out of all the Terminator sequels, it wasn't the worst, but he was actually kind of good as like the, as much as he could be as
The
Terminator.
T whatever.
A lot.
Yeah.
But I think he's playing Joel's brother from The Last of Us,
Correct.
who's played by Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal is that's the dude who played the Mandalorian?
Yeah, he's Wonder Woman 84.
He was Maxwell Lord in that.
Yeah. I mean, that's the most recent thing, but he's in a lot of shit.
I just know him. Like I'm always going to associate him to Mandalorian at this point. But
I still gotta watch that show.
It's so good. God.
I don't know who's playing Ellie.
Ellie. Yeah.
It's like it's just a no name.
An unknown actress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I originally, had other people in mind for at least Joel's role.
But Pedro Pascal's a fucking amazing actor, so.
Oh no.
He'll do good.
I'm not. Oh no, I'm totally happy with it. When you play any game or read a book, you have people in mind of I want to see such and such play this person. Like when I first played the game, I envisioned Dreamcasting Hugh Jackman, but realistically, it would be Josh Brolin.
Okay, I can see Josh Brolin making a decent Joel.
Or just get Troy Baker.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally already mocapped and did the game.
Does he look like him?
I don't know.
All right, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. But it's going to be on HBO at some point, and I can't wait because goddamn, that game is good.
Hell yeah, that game is an amazing game. I will say this. I'm looking forward to seeing the show. The games, I watched you play the second one.
Yeah, that was when I then started streaming. Was the second one?
Yeah, so I watched that one, and I played the first one on PS3. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It was originally on there, and then got a remake on 4, and then they're somehow remaking it again, which makes no sense. But
game companies will remake everything until, well, I mean, even like Capcom, they just keep remaking everything. Anyway, but yeah, cool. We had one other piece of comic book news about Mr. Alfred Molina.
Oh, so Kevin Feige, pretty much the guy in charge of the MCU, has probably sent a hitman over to Alfred Molina's house right now to say another word and I'm gonna break your fucking knees. So the Alfred Molina, who played Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2, is in the new Spider-Man movie.
Yes, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yes. So, not much of a spoiler, but he also said that obviously if you've seen Spider-Man 2, he seemingly dies at the end of that movie.
Yeah, it falls in the river, going backwards, yeah.
So, apparently, he said that the version of the character in the movie is the same character, it's the same person.
Yeah, it's literally, I believe the wording he used was it picks up right after that moment in Spider-Man 2, where he's drowning.
So obviously the next Spider-Man movie is going to be multiverses galore.
Yeah, because Jamie Foxx is in it and he's playing Electro, and he was in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yes. Put it this way, the only person that I need to be in that movie, because you might as well fucking do it, is Tobey Maguire. You might as well.
I mean, if they don't have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield at least as cameos in that movie, it won't make sense to me. If they're going to do the multiverse and have a bunch of villains from the other Spider-Man timelines in No Way Home, they have to have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in it for at least a scene, right?
Literally, you're making a live-action Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse. where all the Spider-Men team
Oh,
up
that's a
again.
good shout. Like, do you think they bring in a Miles Morales?
I don't think they will yet. I honestly think after the second one, the second
Into the Spider-Verse?
Spider-Man,
Yeah.
I think after that is when we'll see a live-action Miles Morales.
Okay. All
But
right.
actually, real quick, I
Yeah.
forgot this. Sam Raimi somebody asked him, since he's doing Doctor Strange 2, because they asked him, like, what would you have done with Spider-Man 4, since there's a rumor going around that could he actually make the
Spider-Man 4
Spider-Man
with
movie
Tobey
that he
Maguire.
I would assume him, but
Yeah.
if not, just what would have been Spider-Man 4? And somebody asked him, it's like, it was, he wanted to do it, he wanted to make it good, and just, he couldn't think of an idea.
Yeah. That's a shame.
I think after everything he put up with the third one.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, a lot of studio interference in that third Spider-Man movie. But yeah, those were at least enjoyable movies, right? Like,
First and the second one were.
yeah. And Torch, just to round back to you, I had a feeling it was the RAM that was causing your computer issues, because it was the only new thing that you added into it. Okay. Last bit of news, I guess. And this is just because we're gonna continue to try to get sponsored by Shudder at some point. But
I won't say no.
yeah, I wouldn't say no yet. But a couple movies coming, new movies coming to Shudder are Fried Barry, which is a story of a drug-addled degenerate who, after yet another bender, gets abducted by aliens. I'm not going to read the rest of that because that sounds amazing. Then we got The Reckoning coming out on May 13th.
I heard of that movie.
Okay.
Wait, what's the description of that movie real quick? 'Cause
Okay.
I think I watched the trailer for it.
After losing her husband during the Great Plague, Grace Haverstock is unjustly accused of being a witch and placed in the custody of England's most ruthless witch hunter, Judge Moorcroft.
I'm sorry. It's Neil Marshall. He directed The Descent.
The Descent, Dog Soldiers, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
dude, he made The Descent, so that right there means I'll watch that movie.
Okay. Another one that I'm really looking forward to is PG, aka Psycho Gorman.
Guy I work with watched it, said it was really good.
Yeah. So in Psycho Gorman, young siblings Mimi and Luke unwittingly resurrect an ancient alien overlord who was entombed on Earth millions of years ago after a failed attempt to destroy the universe. They nickname the evil creature Psycho Gorman, or PG for short, and use the magical amulet they discovered to force him to obey their childish whims. That just sounds like it's such a fucking fun movie. It is
sounds like a lot of like the Power Rangers.
Kinda. And last one is, which it just looks neat, is called Skull the Mask. In this splatter-filled supernatural slasher, a pre-Columbian artifact contains the spirit of Anhanga, the executioner of Tahawantinsupe. Whoever wears the mask is possessed by Anhanga and compelled to commit sacrifices to resurrect his god. So it just sounds like a good thing. And the major thing, the biggest thing on Shudder right now, The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs returned today. It premiered today, and the first movie apparently is a trauma movie. I don't know what it is yet. Pumpkin didn't see either. So, but we'll let you know, because we'll probably be talking about this every time we do one of these.
Speaking of Joe Bob,
yep,
I can't imagine I wouldn't have the 2 shots by July. He is going to be in Pennsylvania for a weekend.
Joe Bob Briggs.
Him, Darcy, possible guests, but they're doing a weekend-long festival at Mahoning Drive-In Theater, which is like, I'll round up and say 2 hours away from here.
Okay.
Friday night is fan-submitted short films. Night 2 is a live Joe Bob Drive-In.
Have they announced the movie?
Not yet. It's literally, tickets haven't even gone on sale yet.
Oh, that sounds. Oh, we should probably go to that.
I'm honestly thinking of getting a hotel room one, maybe 2 of the nights, just because I don't feel like driving home 2 hours. each time.
Okay, so like booking a room or something.
Yeah, I looked. There's like a couple of hotels like 15 minutes from the drive-in theater.
And is this next month, you said?
July.
Oh, July. Perfect. Okay, because next month I probably wouldn't be able to do it, but July definitely.
That drive-in theater has so many themed weekends that I would love to do, but it's 2 hours away.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll eventually get there, I'm sure.
Like, they just played the original Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, wow. Nice. We could probably get out there at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, that's. I would definitely want to go see that just to see Joe Bob Briggs live, because I didn't get to do it when he came here for the Phoenixville Theater.
Yeah, when he did the Redneck Saves Hollywood.
Yeah, so I do want to go see him live at least once in my life, and hopefully Monster Mania will eventually just get him as a guest, him and Darcy, because that would be great.
Oh my god, you could easily do a fucking have him host a movie.
Yeah. All right.
Because yeah, they said they're all gonna be there.
Nice. All right, and I think that's it on news. Unless you had anything else you wanted to add in at the end.
Nope, not that I can think of.
All right, fucking A. Let's move it on then. Let's keep going. Let's go toward. What do you want to go towards next, bud?
Well, we had two lists, either the top 3 or the top 10.
Let's start with the top 10. We'll do the top 3 at the end, because the top 3, I'm gonna have to pull up stuff while we're doing it.
2 of them are the same.
Yeah, it's true. So we can, I guess, okay. So just to give a little bit of an explainer,
This would have been appropriate last weekend.
Yes. So our topic this week, we are going to talk about our top 10 favorite movies starring or featuring a wrestler. Last weekend was Wrestlemania weekend, if you didn't know. And, you know, that's, if you're a wrestling fan, it's one of the biggest weeks in the year. Unfortunately, we're still kind of in the pandemic lifestyle, so not a lot was happening. But there were a bunch of indie shows that did happen on that weekend or around that weekend. And then, of course, WWE did their, TakeOver 2 nights and then WrestleMania 2 nights.
Mm-hmm.
So we were planning on doing this last Friday. Unfortunately, because of life happening, we're doing it this week, and we're also going to talk about something else wrestling related at the very end. But we're trying to stick it close to our wheelhouse, and that's movies. So me and Pumpkin went through and kind of picked our top 10 movies featuring or starring a wrestler. And of course, our lists vary a little bit. There's always going to be some crossover because we've been friends for a long time. We have some of the same tastes. So some of it's going to be a pure Pumpkin thing.
I'll say this. There's a couple on here because I didn't want to keep using the same person again and again and again. Like, The Rock shows up a few times. Batista shows up a few times. Then after that, you're kind of thinking, man, what other wrestlers are in movies?
I missed one of mine. I want to put it in at 7. Don't worry, I got it.
And spoiler alert, for one of the movies on the list, you can see both of us in it.
Yeah. The Rock plays in many movies along with Cena. Yeah, exactly.
We'll get to John Cena when we get to other, 2 movies on this list, because ooh boy, am I gonna go off on one of those.
Well, we're gonna start off with Pumpkin's number 10, and it's a movie I enjoy, and we actually kind of were just talking about it, surprisingly enough. Here you go. It is Sam Raimi's first Spider-Man movie.
I mean, admittedly, it's a cheat. I mean, there is a wrestler in it, and it's one of the greatest of all time. Macho Man Randy Savage as Bonesaw McGraw. Also features the scene when Bruce Campbell gives him his name and calls him Spider-Man.
Yes.
But this is the only movie I've ever seen in double digits in the theater. I think I saw it 11 times.
Really?
I only paid like 3 of them though, because I was still working at the theater at the time.
Holy shit.
So, no, actually, I wasn't still working there. The one cashier just like just remembered me. So I'd always go up and she's like, "Let me guess, Spider-Man again?" I'm like, "Yep."
All right.
It's not my favorite of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, but it's kind of akin to the first Christopher Reeve Superman movie, in that it just seems very fun and like as true to the character as they could be. Plus, Willem Dafoe has one of the greatest lines in a comic book movie ever. It's when they're at the parade, and he rips the thing out of the glider, and he goes flying away, and he just goes, "I'll see you again, Spider-Man." Like, that's such a comic book line, but it works perfectly.
Yeah, you know, at this time it was Spider-Man. Did Spider-Man come out before X-Men?
No, it was. I mean, if you go to the timeline, Blade was 98.
Okay.
X-Men was 2000. So this came out. It came out 2 years before Spider-Man did.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I mean, really, at that time, the only comic book movies we really had were Blade and X-Men.
And Batman.
Oh well, all right. Let's say Marvel movies, just to
yeah, for Marvel movies, it was.
Unless you count The Punisher starring Dolph Lundgren, which no one should count.
No, I mean, everybody always says X-Men was like the first big comic book movie. It was actually Blade.
Yeah. But I will agree.
2002.
Yeah, 2002. So May 2002. Actually, I think that got pushed back a little.
Well, the first trailer and poster you're never gonna find.
Yes, because it had the World Trade Centers in it, and then,
understandably.
Yeah, let's just move on. But yeah, that Spider-Man movie, definitely a classic. It's fondly remembered.
I haven't watched that in a while.
Yeah, I have no qualms with that being on a list of top 10 movies like featuring or starring a wrestler. Obviously.
I mean, fuck it. I'll talk about real quick the wrestler, the Macho Man in it. Bonesaw is ready. No, he has that line.
He has a couple good lines in it, and of course Spider-Man beats him up because he's fucking Spider-Man.
I mean, yeah, he's Macho Man and
basically
he's Spider-Man.
But it was I remember I saw that movie multiple times in theaters as well. I don't think I saw it fucking 11 times.
Put it this way, I got to a point where I was like getting close, and I'm like, I've never seen a movie that many times. Fuck it.
So that, like, you just went for it. You're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Let's put it this way, I saw it 11 and a half times because I saw it opening night and the movie broke.
Oh, okay. It's like the time we went and saw the Dark Knight.
Was it? Nah, it wasn't the Dark Knight. It was something.
It was one of the
Batman movies.
No, it was. It was one of the Batman movies.
I saw those other times, like first with like my mom.
Oh, well then maybe that was me and Sean.
It was something at AMC because I remember the four front theaters lead together, and we all ran from one theater to the next to go get seats.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Those movies are, Jesus Christ, 10 years old at this point.
Pretty much. So because of the nature of this list and where things fall on it, here's Pumpkin's number 9. Yeah.
I have your stream up. I'm just waiting to see the trailer pop up.
There you go. It started.
So, as I said, I'm sure both of us, I'm sure Mike will agree, trying to make a list was kind of hard. It's The Godfather. I put it on the list because Luca Brasi was played by, at the time, a hitman or an enforcer for the actual mafia. But in the early 50s and 60s, he was a wrestler. He held tag titles in the AWA. I mean, it's The Godfather. I don't know what else to say about it.
This movie's a piece of shit, Greg.
Okay, well, let me turn off my computer.
I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding.
I mean, there's a reason it's on, how often people say it's the greatest movie ever made if you look at that or the second one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the opening alone is like, I could watch just that part when they're at the wedding. There's so many things about the movie I would love to see differently. Like when, Connie's boyfriend or husband beats the shit out of her. Just if Vito had found out.
Oh, yeah.
Since that piece of shit's the one that set up James Caan.
Well, that was Mario Puzo's The Godfather.
I mean, yeah, it's The Godfather. What else is there to say about it?
There's not a lot to say about it.
It hasn't been said in the last 50 years.
Pretty much, man. Movie's obviously a classic. It always will be. Fuck, man. There's no way you can deny that The Godfather is a classic.
It was a couple years ago. My dad was in Ohio visiting family. My cousin was at work. And it was, when you watch cable, like all of a sudden, like just the same shit will just be played over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So they had gotten in the habit of playing, I forget what they call it. It's like the Coppola, the version of it, but they edit 1 and 2 together, so they play chronologically.
Oh, interesting. I've never seen or heard that.
I forget the exact name of it, but so it'll start off with you watching 2, and it'll go to 1, and back and forth.
Yeah.
So it's like 7 hours long.
Is this like kind of like the Quentin Tarantino Kill Bill thing?
More or less. Okay. I mean, it's basic. It doesn't it's still the same 2 movies. Like, it doesn't go back and forth. Like, this is actually edited together. So,
okay.
Like I said, you watch 2, then 1, but it's easily 7 hours long. So it was a Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock. I had nothing to do. I'm flipping through the channels. It just started. Look at my phone. I'm like, oh, guess what? I know what I'm doing for the next 7 hours.
Jesus Christ, man. I can't think of the last time. I guess the last WrestleMania before there was 2 days is the last time I sat down and watched something for 7 hours.
I mean, look, I got up for, periodically to, like, go do shit, but I watched, I'd say, at least 75% of it.
God damn.
That's the thing. I had nothing to do.
Fair. I did like 7 hours.
I had done food shopping earlier in the day. Laundry was done. It was a Saturday, so I had no work. All right. I'm watching The Godfather today.
All right. So fucking A. Godfather. Pumpkin's number 9 movies featuring a wrestler. So
here I come again with my number 8 pick.
Here you come again with your number 8. Go for it.
Blockers, starring John Cena, Ike Barinholtz, and Leslie
Bibb.
Mann.
Oh, man, yeah.
First off, before I get to John Cena, Ike Barinholtz, incredibly underrated.
He is. He's an amazing comedic actor.
John Cena is shockingly, like, one of the best parts of this movie. And, like, I remember when it came out, it's kind of a teen sex comedy.
Yeah.
But for once, none of the guys are portrayed as douchebags. Like, they're all just, like, even when the girls are like, oh, I want to have sex, they're like, okay, like, cool, whatever. Like, I'm not going to say no. But there's a scene that if you haven't watched this movie where they have to break into a house.
I knew this was the scene you were going to talk about. God.
It's either that or the butt chug.
The butt chug is hilarious, yeah.
When John Cena has a funnel shoved up his ass and he's got to chug a beer. But they have to break into a house of one of the other kids they have to find where the after prom party is. Oh, if you haven't seen this, these 3 want to stop their daughters from having sex.
Yeah.
That's plot of the movie. But one of the parents it's in like 2 scenes is Gary Cole played Mr. Brady. He was Office Space. He was the boss.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, I cried tears of laughter when John Cena has to break into their house. I can't say why. It's just, I mean, I was comedy, like, for a major studio release, this is probably one of the best comedies in the last 10 years.
Also, I have to say, as Pumpkin mentioned, John Cena being like one of the funniest parts of this fucking movie is no lie. Like, you expect John Cena, wrestler, to be like action movie, stoic, and like we'll get that in the new Fast and the Furious movie, I'm sure. But
100%.
but in this, he is just fucking
He
hilarious.
plays like stuck up, like just by the books. Like he expect, like he's what you expect. Oh, that scene right there.
Yeah.
Like Baron Holtz getting ass beer shot back in his face.
From John Cena's butt, which, I mean, I know plenty of ladies who would gladly drink that beer from John Cena's butt. But that's oh, Jesus Christ. The Blockers trailer started without being muted. Oh man. Holy shit, that scared the shit out of me. Okay. So we're gonna move into a pick of
not one of my movies.
Pick of mine now. So I like The Rock. Pumpkin likes The Rock. Yeah. This is the movie that I forgot to put in the combined list. So this is Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. It's Jason Statham and The Rock's characters from Fast and the Furious 5, 6,
I'll say this. It's on his list. It's not on mine. And I love these movies more than he does.
He does. But this is probably my favorite one just because it is a buddy I love buddy comedies, like buddy cop, whatever. Yeah, it's a buddy cop movie. And obviously The Rock is fucking great.
Chemistry together.
And Jason Statham is fucking great. And yeah, they play off each other so fucking well. And, you know, also bonus, there's another wrestler in this movie. Roman Reigns is in this movie.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ, the current world champion.
Yes, the current WWE World Champion is in this movie. It is amazingly fun, and Idris Elba plays the bad guy, which you can never go wrong with Idris Elba.
Here's the thing. Technically, I can't go back to the other movies. They introduce superhumans in this movie.
Yep. Oh, and Helen Mirren's in this. Helen Mirren.
Legitimately, there's superhumans in the Fast and the Furious universe.
Yeah.
If you tell me no, that if you don't want to see the Avengers fight the Fast and the Furious crew, you're a fucking idiot. I don't care. You're just dumb.
I will say, like I love this movie just unequivocally. I know it's stupid action comedy, you know, but it's just so much fun, and you turn your brain off for like 2 hours. You get to watch Jason Statham and The Rock crack jokes, one-liners, and get the shit kicked out of him by Idris Elba.
He calls himself Black Superman.
Yeah, he's Black Superman. It's fucking great. This movie will always... And there's actually a line that references the Italian Job movie. That's another whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. Oh, there's Roman Reigns. Oh, hold on.
There he is.
Yeah, let me go back. Hold on. And right there. There's Roman Reigns, current WWE World Champion.
Your screen.
It's okay. So yeah, he is also in this. I think he has like one line. He doesn't actually talk much in the movie.
All I know is the story, and I've seen the footage of him knocking out a cameraman.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, this is definitely, like, of the Fast and the Furious, this is probably my favorite one. And I know Pumpkin's like, what the fuck? But they're like, I just really enjoyed this thing. And the fact that it didn't have they didn't have to spend 10 minutes of the movie blowing Vin Diesel made it even better for me.
This trailer, this movie, like, they show like 9 different times this movie could have ended.
Yeah, it's so good. But yeah, that's my number 8.
I'm not gonna hate this pick. Shit, I'm going through rewatching all these movies.
And I guess since you went 3 times in a row, I'll go twice in a row. Sound good?
I'm looking at the list now.
So mine is a little bit of a cheat, but not really.
As we've said, thinking of this, like thinking of movies we would actually put like on a top 10 list.
Oh, that was the wrestler that I'm referencing in this movie. His name is Don Fry. Not really popular in the United States. He was in New Japan Pro Wrestling in the late 90s, early 2000s. This movie, I know you're like, what the fuck? What are we looking at? Like aliens, mutants. Fucking Godzilla. Okay? This movie is Godzilla Final Wars. It is the last Godzilla movie before they rebooted Godzilla in Japan. And it is fucking amazing. It's the last one to use all like rubber suit. Like there is some CGI in there as well, but it's basically dudes in rubber suits like beat the piss out of each other along miniatures and stuff. And yeah, oh look, there's American Godzilla.
Yeah, he fights all the other animals. He fights all the other Godzilla. He beats that one in like 5 seconds.
He literally hits it with his tail once and then uses his breath on it. Like it's fucking amazing. So he goes around, like it's basically Godzilla just going around beating the shit out of all of these other kaiju. On his way to, I want to say it was Mechagodzilla is the final one. Yeah, because the aliens rebuilt Mechagodzilla. That's what it is. Or is it Mechaghidorah with 3 heads? Doesn't matter. This movie is fucking amazing. It has a Sum 41 song in it. What's the popular Sum 41 song?
Fucking no.
Doesn't matter. That is set to when Godzilla, like they're showing clips of Godzilla going to like each continent, basically destroying all these other kaiju. It's fucking amazing. Godzilla Final Wars is literally my favorite Godzilla movie. Nothing will ever be better than it because it is just pure, unadulterated. Godzilla's gonna go around and kick the shit out of people, and it's literally like the humans are like, we need to figure out how to get Godzilla to fight for us because all these other kaiju are trying. So like they basically Don Fry in like basically in this like ship that looks like a drill, basically antagonizes Godzilla and gets Godzilla to follow them around the world to kill. Still waiting. Sum 40. Yeah, like that one. Sum 41. I don't remember. I don't remember what song's in there. I'll find out. But it's fucking amazing because he antagonizes Godzilla and basically gets Godzilla to travel around the world to try to kill the humans in that ship. And along the way, Godzilla kills all of the other kaiju. It's fucking. It's beautiful. And maybe it was In Too Deep. Maybe. All right, let's move on to our next movie. This is a movie that actually I'll start with the still, I guess.
Yes, you can point us out.
Okay. So I'm gonna zoom in a little. I don't know how well this is gonna show on screen, but here's Pumpkin right here. Here's my 7-foot tall friend. Here's me. I think I'm wearing a beanie.
You're at least wearing a hat.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm probably wearing my beanie. And then this is another friend of ours. This is a movie called what?
This is The Wrestler, starring Mickey Rourke.
Yes.
Look, this was the second CZW show I had ever been to.
Probably my third or fourth. Yeah.
But we would have gone regardless. They just happened to be. This was the last night that they filmed The Wrestler there.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of The Godfather on my list, this is probably the legitimately best movie on my list. I watch it every couple of years because it's not like, the easiest movie to watch.
Yeah,
but,
fair.
I mean, it's the one that has the most wrestlers in it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Necro, that scene right there. Even the guy with the mohawk was an actual
wrestler, yeah.
I don't know what his name was, though, but, I mean, I liked him in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, so this movie is basically... And this is Pumpkin's number 6. This is my number 8. But, like, if me and Pumpkin share a movie, then we talk about it at higher on the list. So, like, Pumpkin, this is number 6 for Pumpkin. This is number 8 for me. But Marissa Tomei is fucking awesome in this movie too.
I mean, you have her, Mickey Rourke. I think it's Evan Rachel Wood is his daughter. I mean, look, say what you will about him, Mickey Rourke is fucking phenomenal in this movie.
He really is. He really is. Basically, this movie is just about like a wrestler from the basically think of a wrestler in Hulk Hogan's time,
like somebody that was literally Hulk Hogan famous, that's now wrestling in front of like 50 people for $20.
Yeah, because he didn't. Oh yeah, truth's in it. Our truth's in it.
I mean, he pissed his family away.
Yeah.
His daughter fucking hates him. Oh, I mean, fuck it, I don't really care. He has a heart attack like halfway through the movie, so he can't wrestle anymore.
Ernest the Cat Miller's in it too. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
the Iron Sheik, basically, to his Hulk Hogan.
That is like his ultimate villain. Like that was the big money match.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is he wants to relive his fame. The one promoter says, "Oh, hey, we'll put on a rematch 20 years later," and he wants to do it, but then of course he has the heart attack, and then he just starts working, like just in a supermarket.
It's a really, really good movie. It's like Punk said, it's probably on this list that we have. It's probably like the second. Like if we were just to say, like story wise, this is probably
like if I didn't have The Godfather on my list, it's the best actual movie on my list.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's why it's my number 8. It's Pumpkin's number 6.
But yeah, I would highly recommend checking it out.
Yeah, if you have not seen The Wrestler starring Mickey Rourke, please do. It's an amazing film. All right.
Also,
go
ahead.
No, go ahead. No?
Lost my train of thought.
Sorry. All right, no problem. So I'm gonna jump into my number 6 because Pumpkin. Where's your number 6? Oh, that was your number 6. This is my number 5. What the fuck? Whatever. I don't know where it is. It might be my number 5. It might be my number 6. I don't fucking know at this point. We each have 10 on the list. That's all I know. Here we go. So this movie is Blade Runner 2049. If you have never heard me talk about Blade Runner, I will tell you that Blade Runner is possibly the greatest sci-fi movie ever created. Nothing tops it. The original Blade Runner. Now, this sequel starring Ryan Gosling, Jared Leto, Harrison Ford does return. Ana de Armas, I think is the girl's name, is in it. There's a bunch of really good actors in it. And the opening scene is basically Ryan Gosling plays a Blade Runner, like Harrison Ford did in the first movie, and he is going to find replicants that have either gone off the grid or, basically, bad robot people. And the first one he tracks down in the movie is Dave Bautista. If you don't know Dave Bautista is obviously he was a wrestler, but he's also Drax from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He's been in a bunch of good movies. He was in this. He was in Spectre. Spectre, hit or miss. It was an okay James Bond movie. But this is the first time where he gets to show his physicality in the movie, but he also gets to show his acting chops. So it was really good.
Question about that later on.
Okay. But yeah, he's really good in this movie. He's not playing Drax. He's not playing Dave Bautista. Like, he's playing like this dude is just like living on a farm by himself, trying to just live the rest of his life. And Ryan Gosling comes to him because he's a replicant. Like, spoiler alert, Dave Bautista's a replicant in the movie. But if you haven't seen Blade Runner 2049, one of the reasons is I really enjoyed this movie. There he was. You saw him for briefly. This movie is just, it's Ridley Scott through and through. Like, Ridley Scott, he likes his slow kind of plotting plots. He's what?
He's a slow burn.
Yeah, he's definitely a slow burn movie maker. This one is really, really good. I don't want to reveal too much about the plot because it does tie into the original Blade Runner. And so if you haven't seen the original Blade Runner, please do. But and then watch this. This was actually really, really fun. And like when Pumpkin was like, hey, let's do a list of like movies with wrestlers in it, I was like, okay, Blade Runner 2049 is going on my list. I don't know where it's going, but it's going on my list. Because while it's not as good as the original. Nothing ever is. The soundtrack is amazing. It's like, if you like techno music, which I do, but it's like ambient techno. It's really good. Please watch Blade Runner 2049 if you haven't seen it. There you go. I'm done. I'm off my soapbox.
And it's directed by a guy whose name I can never pronounce.
Denis Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve.
There you go. Was the Blade that Triple H in a movie or the TV show? I can't remember. Triple H was in Blade Trinity with Ryan Reynolds. And actually, I'm going to talk about... Well, we'll get to it. But I want to talk about a scene in Deadpool. Deadpool 2, more specifically, that relates to one of the movies on my list. But yeah. Triple H is in Blade Trinity. It's where there's a Pomeranian... vampire. That's Triple H's dog. Jessica Biel's also in that, right? It's Jessica Biel, Ryan Reynolds, and Patton Oswalt. Yeah. And Wesley Snipes is kind of in that movie. It's mainly his stunt double while Wesley Snipes in his trailer getting high.
Yeah, you know what? I'll go off on a brief tangent.
Yeah, go.
For years, Patton Oswalt has said that Wesley Snipes only talked to the director via post-it note. He would have to be addressed as Blade. The only scenes he would actually show up the set for would be he would have to be shot in close-up. If it's a wide shot, it's like CG on a stunt double. Like, it's just not him. Wesley Snipes finally addressed that like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, why does everybody believe? And I see his point. Like, understand where he's coming from. Of, basically this white guy's been ruining my, talking shit about me for 15 years and everybody just automatically believes his story. I believe some of what Patton Oswalt says is true.
I believe everything that Patton Oswalt said is true because it's been corroborated by multiple people.
Oh no. I believe at least 80% of it.
That's fair. I mean, I like multiple people have either told similar stories or have confirmed Patton Oswalt's story. So I kind of lean towards that. Like, if Ryan Reynolds comes out or Jessica Biel comes out and says that shit, are you gonna not believe them anymore?
Oh no. Like, put it this way: I'm on the either side of the coin. I'm going more towards the Patton Oswalt side.
Okay. All right. Let's move into your number 5, which, ironically enough, has 5 in the title.
And Torch, there was a Blade TV show that starred Sticky Fingers from Onyx as Blade.
Yeah, it was bad. So what is your number 5, Pumpkin?
Oh, God, I'm trying to remember. I gotta look at the list.
Fast 5.
Okay. This is when the Fast franchise just said, fuck it. We're just gonna go bigger and bigger and bigger. It's out of the... since part 5, this is, like we said with, the other movies, this is probably the best actual one. Like quote unquote movie. Spoiler alert, another one of these movies is going to come up very soon on this list. But they're good movies because they just go, you know what? Explosions, gun chase, gunfights, car chases, gratuitous music video scenes with women in skimpy clothing that has no bearing on the fucking plot whatsoever. Also has one of my favorite lines is, "This is Brazil."
So just to jump in real quick, this is the first one. This is the first Fast and the Furious movie that had The Rock in it.
Yes.
This is why it's on the list.
And it's also when you realize, oh wait, why is he in this movie? He's dead.
Oh, Han.
And then you realize that 5, all these movies are prequels to 3.
Which was Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Yeah. So every movie up till 7 was a prequel to 3, right?
Yes.
So Fast and Furious 4, 5, and 6 are prequels to Fast and Furious 3.
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
they are.
Okay. Yeah, no, I love this one. This is the one where they do the fucking bank heist and basically
So-
drag a giant vault along the highway, right?
If you've never listened to the podcast, How Did This Get Made? It's probably my favorite podcast. They talk about these movies, but when they talk about these movies, they actually love them. And they brought up something in the episode where they talk about Part 5. They cause more civilian deaths in that where they're dragging the fucking bank vault down the street, like using it as a weapon, steering it with cables. They easily cause more death than the villain of that movie ever could have. And I don't give a shit.
What up, Swallow? How you doing? Welcome. We are running down a top 10 list, me and Pumpkin here. Or, I keep calling you Pumpkin. I gotta call him Homer or Greg. And he'll call me Hightop or Mike. But, yeah. Yeah. And Pumpkin just... God damn it! It's so ingrained in me to call you Pumpkin.
For a streaming service that I used for like a month. I never even used that name on here.
Yeah. So you just did. We're doing our top 10 wrestling movies that feature a wrestler in it, and Pumpkin just did his number 5, which was Fast 5. I'm gonna do my number 5 real quick. I'm surprised this didn't make your list.
Before you, I realized that I left it off. I would have left off Fast and the Furious Part 5.
Mm-hmm.
I literally forgot about it. Like, when
Oh,
I was
this
coming
movie?
up with the list, it just, for whatever reason, my brain just went.
Yep. So here's my number 5 or 4, I don't know where I am on my list. Doesn't really matter. This is The Running Man, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold.
It doesn't matter who else is in it. Conchita Alonso is the other one, and then Richard Dawson is the main villain. Anyway, the wrestler in this movie is Jesse the Body Ventura. He actually appears on my list twice in this countdown here that we're doing. But Jesse the Body, is basically the Running Man. Arnold Schwarzenegger is accused of a crime he didn't commit. He's convicted. He escapes. They recapture him, and he has to go through this basically television show called The Running Man, where he has to fight all these what are they called? Runners, right? Stalkers. He's a runner. Sorry, the people competing are runners. The guys chasing them are the stalkers, and one of them is amazing actor / wrestler Jesse the Body Ventura. Captain Freedom, yes. If you like pure 80s schlocky fucking action movie with one-liners,
this movie was ahead of its time.
This movie is definitely ahead of its time.
The TV show that they're on is the biggest thing in the world. Like, people like are literally gambling on it. It's like, obviously, since Mike and I are old as fuck,
Yeah.
we were, alive and would remember when Survivor started. That show was gigantic when it started. It'd basically be like if you ask anybody, like, what TV show from a movie would you want to be an actual TV show? My answer, 10 times out of 10, is The Running Man.
That's so fucking dark, man.
Basically, if the gist of the movie is, if you're a runner and you make it to the end,
you get your freedom.
You go free.
Yeah. Damn, you guys are old. Coming from someone who used to binge watch Survivor. I never watched Survivor.
I've never seen more than, I'll say, 5 minutes of that show.
Yeah, it wasn't for me. My reality TV, I never really got into reality TV. Sorry. That's okay though.
Well, I'll put it this way. This is like my 4.5 on the list, because I literally just completely blanked on this.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the one-liners from this movie. Shit, I can't think of what it is when he kills
Sub-Zero. Now Plain Zero.
I can't think of what he says to Richard Dawson when he kills him.
You're
And
canceled?
it could be.
I think
And
it's you're
funny
canceled.
enough, the book or the novella that this was based on was written by Stephen King.
Yeah. Stephen King. Prolific. But let's move into your next movie, which is, I'll just remind you, it's your next Fast and the Furious movie. Fast and the Furious 6.
I have the list up.
Okay.
So, this, without a doubt, is the greatest Fast and the Furious movie. It's where they finally, the last one where they just said, fuck it. This is the one where they truly go, we're going to have a fucking tank. We're going to have an airplane that takes off for, I think, legitimately 20 fucking minutes. Like, somebody put a picture up that, like, the actual runway would be, like, half of the country. It doesn't matter what the plot is. It literally does not matter. Here's the thing. I wholeheartedly will believe anything they do in this fucking movie, except for one thing.
What?
So, it was opening weekend, so it was probably Saturday night. I'm with my friends, and it's the scene where Michelle Rodriguez is still bad, and the tank is dragging the car as an anchor. So she's on the turret of the tank to get it on loose. Vin Diesel goes, "Oh no, Letty," steers his car.
Wait, can I get that line read again?
Oh no, Letty.
Thank you.
So steers his car into the railing of the bridge because the tank is on the other side. It's like there's a gap and there's two, roads. They're basically headed towards each other. So he crashes in, tank crashes in, he goes flying through the air, catches her midair, lands on the windshield of a car. So picture this, we're packed, sold out theater. Dead silence. All you hear is me just go, "Get the fuck out of here." That's the one part of the movie where I'm like, nope, don't buy it. Fucking stupid movie. This is bullshit.
So every Fast and the Furious movie has that one "get the fuck out of here" moment, and me and Pumpkin always look for it in the trailer. The new one is going to be the rocket car into space, right?
Oh no. Huh. Guess what? Rocket car into space? Not the part that I don't believe in. It's the end of it's the scene in the trailer before. It's when that giant fucking ultra mega truck is sliding down the mountain. Vin Diesel is somehow inside of it.
Oh.
He's fucking flipping around. He gets into the driver's seat of it, rights it, turns it. The missile blows it up, goes crashing into a plane. He goes flying out of the fucking door of the truck. Nope, bullshit, you're fucking dead. That's my get the fuck out of here moment of that new movie.
Fair enough. I love these movies too, for probably the same reason Pumpkin does. They're stupid, they're fun.
News about the new, or the next, because Fast 9 is the first part of the trilogy of the end.
Oh.
Because they were going to do 10, but then they just said, fuck it, we're just going to break 10 and up part 10 into 2 movies.
Okay.
It's owned by Universal. Another franchise is owned by Universal. Jurassic World, or just Jurassic in general. Somebody asked the director, Justin Lin, what do you think? He didn't say, oh, that's the dumbest idea. That's never going to happen. He literally just said, if we had an idea. God damn it. Space was my last dream.
Now you want Fast and the Furious with dinosaurs.
Give me dinosaurs.
Holy shit.
You can't tell me that's not the greatest idea for a movie that has ever been thought of.
Oh, it's not a bad idea. I would watch it.
Before you go to the next movie.
Yeah, no, go.
Let me break down the timeline of these movies.
All right, wait, before you jump in. Yes, that wave was to you. Hi, Coil. How you doing, honey?
So, part 1, Vin Diesel and his crew are street racers and hijackers.
Yeah.
4 movies later, in part 5, they're stopping they're robbing a fucking
Colombian drug lord.
Colombian drug lord.
Or Brazilian drug lord, sorry.
Let's get to part 6.
Okay.
There's a scene in part 6 where they're in a military bunker with essentially NATO generals to stop a guy from stealing military technology which will shut down an entire country's like infrastructure. In 5 movies, they've gone from illegal street racing hijackers to essentially
The Avengers.
The Avengers. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Dinosaurs is part 10. Avengers versus Fast and the Furious Crew is part 11.
That's your pitch?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So while I like the idea of Fast and the Furious and Jurassic World crossing over, the one that always springs to my mind when movie crossovers are brought up that never happened, it's the 21 Jump Street Men in Black crossover.
Thank you, Chinese hackers.
Yeah. So they made 21 Jump Street, they made 22 Jump Street.
Both of movies are fucking amazing.
Way funnier than they should be. They're fucking fantastic. The 22 Jump Street ends with a bunch of like fake movie trailers for like 23 Jump Street, 24 Jump, like basically keep going on and on.
They go up to like 40 at one point.
So apparently they were gonna cross it over with the Men in Black franchise, but they were also trying to figure out how to incorporate every one of those ideas from the fake movie trailers that they made at the end of 22 Jump Street. So it would have been Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum in the Men in Black program, and then like infiltrating like cooking school and ballerina school, and like because of aliens. Like
even if they were never doing all the other movies, them two in the Men in Black, but as 21 Jump Street, that's $1 billion idea.
It's a great idea. It would have worked really well too.
It got ruined all because of that fucking Sony hack.
Yeah. All right, sorry. So now I get to talk about Deadpool 2 a little, because my next movie is a little movie starring a bunch of wrestlers. I believe Big Show is in it, Chris Jericho, Mark Henry, the Great Khali.
Never seen this movie.
This is one of my favorite comedies, and I can't believe Pumpkin has never seen it. It is one of, you remember when like SNL, Saturday Night Live, was making all those shitty movies? This is one of those movies that came out that everyone thought was going to be one of those shitty movies, and is actually an amazing movie called MacGruber.
I will say this. It's one of those movies that bombed horribly. I think it's one of those things that 10 years later has aged
so
better.
Well. Yeah. So it's absurd comedy. Val Kilmer plays the bad guy. Obviously, well, I can never remember this dude's name. What's his name?
Isn't his name Dieter von Kuntz?
Yes.
It's spelled cunt.
Yes. Kristen Wiig is in it. She's fucking amazing in it. Ryan Felipe's in it. He's amazing in it. Obviously the title character MacGruber is fucking amazing in it. So in the movie, he goes and basically, if you remember Deadpool 2, Deadpool assembles X-Force, right? And then they go on their first mission and they immediately die. In this movie, which came out many years before Deadpool 2, he goes around and collects all these wrestlers to be on his team. So he collects Chris Jericho, Mark Henry, the Great Khali, Big Show. Like,
he collects badass guys.
And they die immediately before they even get to the first mission. And that's why, like, when that shit happened in Deadpool 2, I was like, why? What does this remind me of? A fucking MacGruber. Like, there is no reason. They just introduce all these characters because, like, he's going around basically getting all of his old war buddies together to go on this mission, and they get in a van, and he gets in his car. He starts driving away. The van starts driving and just fucking explodes. It's fucking amazing. Also, what's her name? Maya Rudolph. She's in it. She plays MacGruber's dead wife. And there's a scene where he has sex with the ghost. So, hold on. Oh, I can't show that on Twitch. Never mind. Because you'd see his bare ass. But Will Forte is amazing in MacGruber. And if you've never seen MacGruber, maybe me and Pumpkin can set up a movie night for it. Because I know he needs to see it.
I do want to watch it.
It's fucking amazing. It's one of the funniest movies. Period. Well, not period, but it's really a really, really funny movie. All right. That was my number 3. There we go. So your number 3. Here we go. Now we're gonna just jump right in because we're getting close to the end now. Oh.
Like as I said, it's kind of a cheat. There's a wrestler in it for a scene, but it's a pivotal scene. I went with John Carpenter's Escape from New York. The wrestler in question is when Snake is taken prisoner, and he has to fight the guy in the ring with the spiked baseball bats and the trash can lids. The big bald guy he's fighting is a wrestler named Ox Baker, who you and I have seen live.
Yes.
He just came out and said hello to everybody at a CZW ago.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's Kurt Russell, Donald Pleasance, Lee Van Cleef.
The Cleef! Sorry.
Pretty much. I can't think of the other actor's name that's in like a lot of John Carpenter movies.
Isaac Hayes.
Who's actually in the second one.
He is?
If he's more or less a cameo when he's walking onto the basketball court and the 2 black guys are standing on either side of the gate.
Yeah.
When he walks onto the court, one of them is Isaac Hayes.
Oh, that's awesome. They brought him back for the sequel.
Yeah, I had never noticed it until somebody pointed it out, and now it's one of those things. Whenever I say it, I can't unsay it.
Oh, Adrian Barbeau. Adrian Barbeau.
Stanton.
God. Harry Dean Stanton, yeah. So why is this movie great, Pumpkin?
It's Kurt Russell.
I need more.
It's Kurt Russell and John Carpenter.
I need more.
I shouldn't have to.
Fair enough. Yeah, Escape from New York is a fucking great movie.
If I hadn't made it obvious before, he's my favorite actor. Even his shittiest movies.
Oh, it's the VHS trailer.
Are fucking amazing. Okay.
Yeah, it's the VHS trailer, so it had a little insert of John Carpenter talking about the movie. Sorry, I was just like, what the hell? Why is John Carpenter showing up in the trailer? But yeah.
Oh my god, that was a deleted scene.
Yeah.
It was him and like how he gets arrested.
Yes, so I've actually seen that whole sequence. I'm sure you have too.
It's a bank robbery.
Yeah.
It's a bank robbery.
But yeah, Escape from New York, classic. It's a classic John Carpenter movie. It's also a classic Kurt Russell movie, so of course it's going to make Pumpkin's list.
Oh yes, Kurt Russell could do no wrong.
Oh man. Okay. So the next one is on both of our lists. Pumpkin didn't have a number. I don't know, number 7. I'm going to say, and
who knows?
So this is Pumpkin's number 7, but this is my number 2. So I'll talk about it a little, then you can talk about it a little.
Like I said, the placement for some of these, also at the same time,
it's kind of fluid. My number 1 is number 1, most obvious.
Same here.
Yeah. But anyway, this is Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if anyone out there has seen Guardians of the Galaxy. But
if you haven't, then
yeah, if you haven't, what the hell?
stop now. But legit, Batista is so unbelievably good in this movie.
He is. He plays Drax the Destroyer. That's the wrestler in the movie. And of course, Chris Pratt fucking knocked it out of the park. Also got a 6-pack. Like if you watched him on Parks and Rec before this,
Doughy.
Huh? He's doughy. He's doughy. He's like, a normal looking dude. He got jacked for this movie. Is still funny as hell. And then you have Batista, who's basically playing Drax as
it's one of the best lines of the movie.
He has all of the best lines in the movie.
I remember one of the times I saw it, I was with my friends, and it's towards the end when they're walking along the ship, and he's like, you tree, and you, and so, and you green whore.
Now, I like the line after that where he goes, "Nobody calls my friend a whore," or something. He says something like after Gamora insults, or I'm sorry, what's her name? Karen Gillan's character, Nebula, insults her.
I was gonna bring this up earlier, but I knew this was coming up.
Yeah.
I saw this I think it was on Twitter. Oh yeah, it was when they showed the Army of the Dead trailer that he's in. Who's the best wrestler turned actor?
We can talk. Let's save that for after.
Okay. Put a pin in that.
Put a pin in it.
But
I did want to talk a little bit about why this movie is so important to me. Yeah. So my father and I have a few movies that we share that we love. So, The Crow, being weirdly being one of them. My dad absolutely loved that movie, The Crow.
There's one movie that his dad loved years ago. Still fucking, I don't understand why.
Free Willy, yeah. Because he took me to see it. That's why. I'm almost guaranteeing you that. But anyway, it had been years since me and my father had actually gone to the movies together. And so I'm like, hey, like, what do you want to do for your birthday? He couldn't really give me an answer. So I'm like, why don't I take you to the movies? So, because my mom kind of wanted him out of her hair so that she could set up the house for the party, pretty much. So I go over, pick him up. We drive over to the theater. And I'm like, well, let's see Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm like, you might like it. And he's like, I don't want to watch these comic book movies. He has since turned around, by the way, because he has seen all of the MCU now. But he originally didn't want to watch comic book movies. So I'm like, look, let's just go see it. If you don't like it, we can just leave. And he's like, fine. So we go in. My dad, now, he's a 60-year-old man at this point, like 60-something-year-old man at this point in 2014, is howling in laughter while we're watching this. He is so entertained by the entire time we were watching it. I was like super fucking happy. So we watch this movie. He is immediately like, oh my god, it was so great. Like, we come out. He loved Rocket, of course.
Oh, I didn't even have to tell you that. I could have easily guessed that one.
He loves Batista in it. He liked Chris Pratt. He liked Zoe Saldana. He loved Groot too. Like, he loved Rocket and Groot the most.
Tell him it was Batista beforehand?
No, I didn't give him any indication of what the movie was, except for I'm like, oh, it's like a space comedy, and he's like whatever. He didn't really care. He just was like, I think it was more or less my mom pressured him into going to the movie so that he would get out of the house so that she could set up the party.
With being Batista.
He's like, wait, is that Batista? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, he's a fucking actor now? And I'm like, yeah. So yeah, me and my dad watched this together. He loved it. So it became a thing. So I took him to see Guardians 2. I took him to see Avengers. What was the first one? Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, because they have the Guardians in it. Like, he didn't care too much about the rest of the movie when we saw Infinity War or Endgame. He cared about the Guardians bits. But afterwards, he actually went back. He has actually seen almost every single movie in the MCU now because of this.
The Thor movie.
Yes, so I have told him that because he keeps asking when the third one is coming out. And I'm like, it's not going to be for a while. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, but they're going to be in the next Thor movie. So I think he's going to go see Thor. I don't think he's seen Thor Ragnarok, though. So I'm going to have to make him watch that before we go. But yeah, he will. He'll love it to death. But yeah, that's my number 2 and Greg's number 7 on the list.
And
so
I don't know how this would be, because then you have your number 2 looking at where my number 2 and your number 10.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. Yep. So the next movie we're going to jump into, we just did.
You should have known this movie. It was going to be on here. We talked about it last time.
Yeah, we did. So the next movie we're talking about is, as Pumpkin said, his number 2, my number 10 of of movies with wrestlers in it. And it's They Live, starring Roddy Piper. This is actually a movie starring a wrestler. Go ahead, Pumpkin.
I mean, as we said 2 weeks ago, or however long it was when we did the, whatever that list, sci-fi horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually good in this movie for what he has to do. But the greatest, my favorite fight scene ever.
Yep. Evil Lynn playing evil. She's still evil in this movie. But if you,
then you have Keith David. Let's talk about Keith David. 80s icon.
80s icon, 90s icon, 2000s icon. Keith David will always be an icon. He is amazing. That voice alone will forever be, like, everyone knows what Keith David sounds like. Even if you don't know his name, you know what he sounds like. You've heard his voice in multiple things. He's fucking amazing. We talked about this to death the last time we did this, but like, just to kind of recap, this is a fucking amazing movie. Once again, John Carpenter scores high on me and Pumpkin. Like, no matter what, John Carpenter is going to be on our list.
Another question later.
But Roddy Piper is like amazing in this. You know, Keith David amazing in it. Like everyone's amazing in this movie, and it's low budget sci-fi, but amazingly done. It's an amazing idea. It's a unique idea. I don't think if they ever remake this, I will be very, very sad about it.
It'll happen.
I know. All right.
Well, no, here's the thing. Don't remake it. Just make a sequel.
Yeah, they could definitely make a sequel. I don't know how you do it, but smarter people than me make movies, so they can do that. All right, let's go into our number ones. So, Pumpkin's number one is my number 9. So, should I go with my number 1 first, or do you want to? Okay.
Go with you. Spoiler alert! I want to watch this movie. Just never seen it.
Pumpkin has never seen this movie, so I need everyone to just fucking yell at him for not having seen this movie.
Before you say what it is, I just, for whatever reason, when I was a kid, my mom just never showed it to me. She took me to see fucking RoboCop 2 in the theater. Just never saw this movie. It has literally fallen through the cracks of my life. I want to watch it.
It's funny too because
never sit down and watch it.
It's funny too because your mom and I had Disney in common. Like, she loved Disney stuff. I love Disney stuff. And so, like, this isn't a Disney movie, but it definitely fits that kind of mold. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So, my number 1 movie with a wrestler in it, if you hadn't guessed it, it's The Princess Bride. The Princess Bride, starring, well, Fred Savage and Columbo are in it. They're the wraparound. Doesn't really matter. Carrie Elwes. What's the guy's name?
Oh, God. Mandy Patinkin.
Mandy Patinkin. Thank you. Mandy Patinkin. Andre the fucking Giant. Hulk Hogan's mortal enemy.
I'll ask you this before you talk about the movie.
Yeah.
If you had to ask or answer this question, who's the most famous wrestler? Or, no, who's the most recognizable wrestler of all time?
It's Hulk Hogan.
I would go... At one point, I would almost go Andre.
I mean, Andre, maybe? I would say Andre and Hogan are probably the two, right? That you would say the most recognized actors. But anyway, what's her name? I never remember the actors' names. I'm never very good at this. But this movie is amazing. If you have not seen The Princess Bride, what are you doing with your life, Greg?
I'm just waiting for you to look at the camera when you say that.
Yeah, if Andre had lived longer, definitely Andre. I agree with that. Andre the Giant is amazing. Mandy Patinkin in this movie delivers one of the most iconic lines in movie history, and you've never seen it. It is...
The thing is, I know the line.
Yeah, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Like... Oh my God, Carrie Elwes is so great in it. Elwes. I don't know how to say his name, but anyway, yeah, The Princess Bride. Rob Reiner directed it. It's a fucking banger of a movie. If you have not seen it, oh, there you go. Billy Crystal's in it. Like, like there's so many great people in this fucking movie. Prince Humperdinck. I don't remember his actor, but he's fucking amazing.
I'm muting my mic. I just want to see something.
Okay. But yeah, if you have not seen The Princess Bride, seriously, like, it is a classic. It'll make you cry. It'll make you laugh. It is so good. And recently during quarantine, during lockdown, they have done the Princess Bride home movie, which was to benefit a library. And they had a bunch of random actors doing scenes from this. So they got Fred Savage back. Adam Sandler plays Columbo's part. Chris Pine's in it. Like, so many amazing actors and actresses are in it. Hold on. Nick Kroll.
Deadpool did it.
Yeah, Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are in it. Like, if you haven't watched this, please do. Everyone from The Office. Batista's in it. David Spade.
When they re-released Deadpool 2 as like PG-13,
yeah,
they had a wraparound where it's him reading the story of Deadpool 2.
Yes.
Fred Savage in bed.
Yeah. And that, like, Dave Bautista plays Andre the Giant's part in it, which is great. So like, but like they have a bunch of different actors playing it in this home movie. It was to benefit the libraries during lockdown. So many good people are in it. McLovin's in it. I never remember his name. Ernie Hudson's in it. Like everyone from the fucking Office is in it. Yeah. So I highly recommend it, but I also really, really highly recommend the original. If you have not seen The Princess Bride, like, please.
I will add it to my list.
Please. Oh, it's on Disney Plus. See, it's such a Disney movie that they now own the rights to it.
It's probably 20th Century Fox movie.
Yeah. All right. So that is also quality book, top tier. Definitely recommend reading it too. I have never read it. I might have to read it. Yeah. You keep using that word. I do not think you know what it means.
The only scene of that movie I've seen because they showed it to me in high school in like sociology class or whatever, is the scene with him and Wallace Shawn poisons the drink.
Yes, that is one of.
It was like the teacher showing us like how like a mind thinks of like deducing like what glass the poison's in. I've seen that multiple times.
It's amazing. I'm really disappointed that you haven't seen it, but we'll get you to watch it. We will pressure you. Just remember, everyone, we need to pressure Pumpkin into watching The Princess Bride. All right, let's go to your number 1, and I think it's my number 9. Yeah.
So I got to bring up to you different lists we can do so we don't get, so much repeat.
Yeah.
But it's 1987's the second best action movie to come out in 1987. It's Predator, starring Arnold, Jesse the Body Ventura, Carl Weathers, Bill Duke, Sonny Landa, who is the tracker that the movie studio had to pay security to keep him away from the other cast members. I would love to see the original version of this movie that had Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yes, Jean-Claude Van Damme originally played the Predator.
Which looked just so awful. But this movie has, I ain't got time to bleed. If it bleeds, we can kill it. But, spoiler alert for a movie that's, almost 30 years old. My favorite scene of this movie takes place after the wrestler in the movie dies. So, Jesse the Body gets killed. His friend is Bill Duke. Jesse has a weapon in the movie called Old Painless, which is a giant fucking minigun. There it is right there.
Yeah.
They literally hit nothing. And the director told a story is, they for whatever reason, like they wanted more, or I forget, there was a reason he put it in the movie. They shoot for a minute straight just for no reason other than they think they're hitting the Predator. That's the only reason that scene's in the movie. But it's legitimately one of my favorite action ever made.
Yeah, totally agreed. Once again, the wrestler in the movie is Jesse the Body Ventura. He was in The Running Man as well. This movie, it's like quintessential Arnold. Like
also, who here has seen Harry and the Henderson?
I've seen Harry and the Hendersons.
Harry is played by the guy that plays the Predator.
Oh, nice. There you go.
And you actually see the Predator at the end of the movie, without the makeup on.
Oh, really?
He's when Arnold gets picked up, he's the helicopter pilot.
Oh, neat. Okay. Well, there you go. There's a little fun fact for you. But so there you go. Pumpkin's number 1 is Predator. Mine is The Princess Bride.
Yes. If you've never seen either of those movies, Predator for everybody else, Princess Bride for me.
Yeah. I can't imagine anyone here has not seen The Predator, but whatever. It's a fun movie.
I'm sure there's one.
All right, so you had said you wanted to talk about.
Before, let me ask you, since we're at the end of that list.
Yeah.
Who's the best actor that was a wrestler? Because I know what my answer is.
Well, I mean, there's really 2 choices, right?
I would go. Who are you two?
It's
One of them's gonna be the same.
It's The Rock or John Cena, right?
No.
Oh.
No, I don't mean who's made the most money, who's been in the biggest hits. Who's the best actual actor?
Dave Bautista.
Yes. For me, second place, I would go Cena.
Yeah.
But Batista is, I think, legit. Like, given the right role, if he was nominated for something a couple years from now, it wouldn't shock me. Like, he's legitimately good. Also, have you ever seen Stuber with him and Kumail Nanjiani?
Yes, it's hilarious.
It's a good movie.
Okay, so the other question we had, and I don't have the list in front of me, so you're gonna have to kind of announce what they are. But we decided, because last weekend was WrestleMania weekend, we decided to basically talk about our top 3, because we didn't want to do another top 10 list in the same episode.
So your number 1 is my number 3. Your number 3 is my number 1. Don't really matter. I don't think.
So how about we just go with our number 2s? What's your number 2?
My number 2 is WrestleMania 21, HBK, Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle. I was a Kurt Angle mark from the moment he debuted.
Is it WrestleMania 21?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. You're good.
Like, it's my favorite legitimate wrestling match. There's no, there's a table spot, but like there's no outside shenanigans. There's no weapons. It's the 2 best in-ring workers to ever. It's like 20 plus minutes of just brilliance.
Yeah.
And Kurt wins by making him tap out.
Which, if you don't know Shawn Michaels and his history, him losing clean is one thing. Him tapping out is an even bigger deal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you have Kurt Angle, who is probably legit one of the best wrestlers to ever live. And then you have Shawn Michaels, who's one of the best, like, showmen in wrestling to ever live. Would you agree with that? Yeah.
Storytelling wise.
Yeah. They put on an absolute beast. Oh, God. Yeah, that's where he rams him into the fucking pole. Oh, his back. Also, yeah, Shawn Michaels had back injuries that made him retire for like 9 years or something. 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a hell of a banger. This is a good show.
Like, if you went 10 years before, this match would have gotten booed. Like,
yeah.
Nobody wanted to see this kind of wrestling. It's the shit I want to see.
Just hard hitting, 2 dudes beating the piss out of each other and being technically great at what they're doing. I totally agree, and like it has very strong similarities to my number 2.
Also, the finish of this match is Shawn Michaels is in the ankle lock for at least 3 minutes.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see if I can get to it without. There you go.
Here. Yours is.
Oh, I know what mine is. I know.
No.
So I was just trying to get to the Shawn Michaels. Yeah, there you go. The final tap out.
There's Shawn easily like 2 minutes of him just being in that move.
Yeah.
I apologize if this is too nerdy, but I don't
really. So my number 2, because these are the 2 that we had different, but mine also has Kurt Angle in it.
And his opponent is on my Mount Rushmore of wrestling.
Yeah, I don't want the full match. I keep whenever I search for these, I get full matches, and I can't show that on here.
Or you're gonna get a music video with some god awful music that you don't want to listen to anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Here, it's perfect. 3-minute highlight video of it. So mine is from WrestleMania 20. Eddie fucking Guerrero versus Kurt Angle for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Eddie had just beaten Brock Lesnar a month before this. Yeah, Viva La Raza. Hell yeah. They put on a fucking clinic, first things first. Like everyone's like, oh, Kurt Angle's going to out-wrestle Eddie Guerrero. No. Eddie Guerrero is one of the best to ever have laced up a pair of boots. And I use that terminology in this match because
he lied, cheated, and stole.
Yeah, so his gimmick at the time, which is a little questionable, is lie, cheat, steal. Like, he does anything he can do to win. That's how he beat Brock Lesnar for the fucking title. He had interference from Goldberg. Like, ton of stuff happened in it. So in this, the whole thing is like Angle is like fucking out wrestling him, but like Eddie's fighting back, out wrestling him. Yeah, Angle gives him so many fucking suplexes in this match.
Like all matches, he's gonna work the leg.
Yeah. So yeah, through the entire thing, Angle's working Eddie's leg, and at one point, Eddie gets the rope break from the ankle lock, which is Angle's finish at the time, and like basically gets Angle out of the ring when he breaks the hold. He unlaces his boots, or his boot, and like it's like acting like his ankle's really hurting him. He looks up. He's in the middle of the ring. He looks up, and Angle is back on his feet, and he's just looking at Eddie Guerrero. And Eddie Guerrero, you can literally see him say it. He goes, "Oh shit!" And Angle like beelines into the ring, grabs Eddie, puts him in the fucking ankle lock again. He has him in it, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's gonna tap. He's gonna tap." Eddie basically maneuvers himself to where he gets his foot out of his boot, so Angle is just holding Eddie's boot. Right? Rolls Eddie up, gets his own feet, Eddie's feet, into the ropes and locks them around the bottom rope, and pins Angle 1, 2, 3. It's an amazing storytelling moment, like, because the whole thing is leading up to, like, everyone's like, oh, why is Eddie Guerrero champion? Like, at the time, not a lot of people supported that decision. I know me and Greg did. We loved Eddie Guerrero. And like, you know, smart marks or whatever you want to call them, like wrestling fans who were really, really into wrestling and like read all the backstage crap and reports and stuff. Everyone loved Eddie Guerrero. Like everyone wanted to see this happen. Like this is after Eddie Guerrero had come back from being fired because he got in an automobile accident because he was drunk at the wheel. Or high at the wheel.
Oh yeah. If you watch like the one documentary, Vicky even says like he was passed out. She left him to die in a chair. Okay, here's
the moment that's coming up. So he just reversed it. He already unlaced his boot. You can see Angle's got it. So he rolls out. This is the best, like one of my favorite things. Yeah, boom, and look, he grabs his foot, grabs the bottom rope with his fucking feet and wins. It's so great. Eddie Guerrero, true treasure to wrestling. Like he's amazing. But yeah, so those are our number twos. That's why we decided to do those first. We can just do my number 3, which is your number, or your number 3, which is my number 1. You want to do that?
Okay.
One of the best theme songs of all time. Hell yes. Viva la raza. Okay. I need the highlight video, please. TLC 2. Oh. Highlights.
There's an image from this match that will be played at the last WrestleMania.
Yeah. So my favorite WrestleMania match of all times is this. Which is the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, versus the Dudley Boys, Devon and Bubba Ray, versus Edge and Christian. Yeah, tables, ladders, and chairs match for the WWF. Wow, WWF Tag Team Champions. This is from WrestleMania X7, which is WrestleMania 17. They put on, once again, it's a clinic, but it's not the kind of it's not a technical wrestling clinic. This is just people beating the shit out of each other with inanimate objects for like 25 minutes.
It's the best TLC match they've ever done and ever will be done.
Yeah, like this is the epitome of TLC.
Torch. It's TLC 3. They would just say triangle ladder match if you looked at it on Peacock or the network.
Yeah, this is the second one. The third one, it involves murderer suicider, so we don't talk about that one. Anyway, this match is over. This is like classic Attitude Era overbooking, because not only is there like a shit ton of like awesome spots, you got these 6 wrestlers. Yeah, good.
Spike Dudley comes out and helps the Dudleys. Mm-hmm. Rhino comes out and helps Edge and Christian. Lita comes out and helps the Hardy Boys. There's a moment in this match.
Oh, there's Spike.
Nobody remembers.
What?
I think it's Bubba does it to Matt, or Matt does it to Bubba. One of them gets hit in the head with the ladder's standing upright, and they push it into one to the other's head, and it makes the worst sound.
I believe that's Matt, or that's Bubba to Matt Hardy. Yeah.
It's a disgusting sound. Like I can't describe it. And it's in a building that's a dome that holds like 70,000 people.
Yeah, this is in Madison Square Garden.
No, this is Astrodome.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. The Eddie Guerrero match was in Madison Square Garden. Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, this is an amazing match. That moment right there where Jeff jumps off the 20-foot ladder is the moment Pumpkin's saying will be played.
No, I wouldn't go with that. Here it comes. No, not this.
Is it this one? Edge spearing Jeff?
It's when Edge spears Jeff Hardy.
Yep.
They play that in every fucking package.
They do.
The fact that Jeff Hardy, I mean, Edge had to retire for 10 years, but the fact that Jeff Hardy, outside of a few, substance issues, has pretty much consistently wrestled since that match, he shouldn't be able to walk.
This is true. This is very, very true. But yeah, here's Edge and Christian winning it with the help of Rhino, of course.
This is also the absolute height and the end of the Attitude Era.
And, pretty much like 2 or 3 years later, tag team wrestling didn't matter in WWE anymore.
Oh no, once those 3 teams were done.
All right, and this is Pumpkin's number 1, my number 3. You want to start talking about it while I get the stuff up?
It's not the best wrestling match. It's not, but it's Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock 2, the main event of that WrestleMania.
The main event of WrestleMania X7.
Which, if you look at most lists or ask most wrestling fans, what's the best WrestleMania of all time? Probably going to say that one.
Yeah.
I know it's not going to be yours. It's my favorite promo package leading up to a match. Yours is The Miz versus John Cena.
Yes, it is.
Not.
But this is an amazing match in and of itself.
Take the biggest star in wrestling ever, or the most money-drawing wrestler ever.
Is that Stone Cold or The Rock?
It's Stone Cold.
Yeah.
He's the biggest money draw ever. You take the 2 biggest names in wrestling at the time, put them in front of 70,000 people. I mean, the only problem with this match is the end.
So here's the thing, and I just want to there's a reason this is number 3 on my list and number 1 on Pumpkin's list. At the time when this WrestleMania was coming out, I was way more focused on the undercard guys. I liked the mid-carders and the tag team divisions. I hated the main event. I hated Rock, Austin. I didn't like them at the time. Hindsight being 2020, this is probably one of the best built stories that they ever did. And I actually disagree with you. I think the end works perfectly. I think the follow-up sucked.
Oh yeah, that's what I like. The follow-up was just shit.
Yeah, because the end, basically, Austin is saying through this entire feud, he needs to beat Rock. He needs to be WWE champion.
I've seen this match in this video package so many times. The end of the video package is him going, "I need to beat you, Rock. I will do anything to beat you."
Yeah. And
he sided with his ultimate nemesis.
Yeah, so for years before this, Stone Cold and Mr. McMahon, that was the hottest rivalry in wrestling.
I don't care what anybody says. It's the best feud in wrestling.
Sure. I'll probably agree with that at this point. It probably was. And Stone Cold basically signs on with Mr. McMahon at the end of this match, turning his back on his fans, and basically just hits Rock with a chair, multiple times actually. Yeah. And then wins the title. And it's a fucking amazing piece of storytelling. Like Pumpkin alluded to, the follow up of this sucked.
But it was the hottest. It was the. Yes, they make more money now, but it was the hottest wrestling ever was. This is literally the pinnacle of 2+ years of wrestling.
And it's funny that both of our number 1 and number 3 spots are both from the same WrestleMania, X7. That might be nostalgia on our parts.
Oh no, the funny thing is, I can remember this entire card. There's 2 bad matches the entire night.
There you go. So, like, this is probably my pick for best WrestleMania.
Oh, it's, well, not even a question. Watching this video on your stream right now,
Yeah. Like, yeah, you kind of want to watch it again, right?
I will probably go and watch it when I'm done.
But yeah, this is like it had to be on my list, and I knew it was going to be Pumpkin's number one. I just knew that.
Stone Cold's my favorite, like, overall.
Yeah.
Wrestler? No. Overall, 100%.
Yeah, this is such a good, and like, and the other thing that sets this WrestleMania apart from a bunch at the time is that it was called by JR and Paul Heyman.
Also, this was after they had purchased WCW.
Yes, this is literally the first WrestleMania, like literally like a month or two after, not even that long after they bought WCW. So they no longer had competition, and that's why the follow-up sucked, because they no longer had to compete with WCW, and they got lazy as fuck after that.
I'll get nerdy for a second.
Huh.
They had the Invasion. If they had waited to do the Invasion 1 year, they would have had the NWO. They would have had Ric Flair.
Yep.
They would have had Scott Steiner.
Yeah. Maybe when we eventually start our wrestling podcast, we could talk about the rise and fall of WCW and the rise and the fall of WWF. But yeah, it is a good book. All right. I think that about covers everything we want to cover tonight, unless you had anything else you want to throw on the...
I have one more question before I forget, because that way we won't overload future programs with questions.
Yeah.
If it was the TV show from the 80s, like if you could make a TV...
It was, your question was if you could take any 80s or 90s movie and turn it into a TV show, right?
I was going to say 80s, just because it's...
Just 80s.
So it's a la Cobra Kai. You take a movie from the 80s, 30 years later, same, you just pick up
30 years after. All right, you go first, because you had time to think about this. I have not.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Is that movie an 80s movie?
Yep, 1988. It's at least 88, I think.
Okay. Why would you want to turn that into a show now?
I think that's just, it's a beloved movie, but I think it's ripe for continuing. Like, I don't think you do, like, you don't have somebody play Eddie Valiant. Maybe it's literally, it's not, you don't pick up, like, the next day, it's Toontown 30 years later. So
Okay.
maybe all the hand-drawn tunes are now kind of forgotten about since it's more CG.
Okay.
The one thing I keep thinking about is maybe you have Eddie Valiant's kid, like maybe him and his girlfriend in the movie had a kid.
Okay.
I don't know. But the one thing I keep thinking about, Judge Doom is one of the most terrifying villains at the end of that movie when he reveals that, like, that voice he puts on.
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd can't be in it.
No.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah,
he's still
he's
alive,
passed away.
but-
Oh, he did? He's not? I thought he passed away, no?
He's still alive. He's still
Okay.
alive.
Okay.
I'm just saying, he is getting older.
Yeah. Fair.
So, I'm thinking you just have Judge Doom as a cartoon now, and you just get somebody that sounds like Christopher Lloyd.
Okay. I can see that.
But I just think it's, you tell the story of how the cartoons nowadays are, like, they're forgotten about, and they're just like, what do we do?
No, I like the concept. Just like 30 years later, you go back to Toontown and like, I mean, there's going to be a struggle at some point, but you got to figure that out. But no, I like that idea. I have 2 joke answers real quick. Okay, you ready?
I like more answers, but that's the one that I'd say the most thought in.
Okay, so a movie that came out in the 80s that I would love to see a television show.
Weird Science.
No, well, I could, but I wasn't even going to go with that. I would like to see the Transformers have a movie. Because the Transformers, the movie, came out in 1986.
Could do it. Shockingly, they haven't.
I mean, there technically was a cartoon after it. I'm sorry, I thought that was funny. I thought that was a good shout. I could also say Evil Dead, which they actually did do, and it was a continuation of those movies, so you got that. You could also say...
You know what? Fuck it. The Monster Squad. They're all grown up, and the monsters come back.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Man. I have my pick, but I was trying to remember what my other joke answer was, and I can't fucking remember it, so I guess it doesn't really matter. My actual pick would be The Lost Boys.
Oh, you could easily do that.
So they've done shitty movie sequel, like direct-to-video or direct-to-streaming sequels to The Lost Boys.
I would receive the first one.
Yeah, I would disregard those entirely, and I would literally just start the story. It is 30 years later. It can be set in the same town. You can have, once again, whoever's surviving, which...
Unfortunately, one of them is dead.
Yeah, Corey Feldman? Haim is dead. Feldman is still alive, so you could get him. You could also get Jason Patrick still alive, right?
Yeah, he's alive.
All right. So there you go. You got those two. I'm trying to remember the girl. Oh my god, what was her name?
Jamie Gertz.
Jamie Gertz. Thank you. So you could have those people come back, and basically it could be either set in the same town. What was the town in that movie called?
It was Santa something. I remember that.
Santa Clara?
I can't remember. I've seen it once.
Okay. It doesn't say. All right. But anyway, this I really do think that they could do this as a TV show. Like either, I don't know how, like you could either do it like there are more vampires, which is the easy part, or you could do, kind of like a supernatural spin on it or a Buffy spin on it, where it's like Santa Barbara. There you go. Okay. Where like there's a monster of the week and like they're trying to figure it out. You know what I mean?
I think you could do like if you did truncated seasons, like if you do like the kind of cable route of like 13 episodes.
Yeah.
Like if you have, say for instance, not him, but like let's say you have even like the boyfriend, like the mom's boyfriend in the movie, like he was actually the leader.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you take whoever the leader of the new vampires is, he's the big bad of the entire show.
Okay.
And then like series finale is when they finally kill him.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you're basically you're Buffy the Vampire Slaying it, pretty much. Yeah. All right. No, like anything like that, they could turn it into like kind of an X-Files. You want a Buffy movie? There is a Buffy movie.
I've seen that movie. Haven't seen the show. Seen the movie.
There's a Buffy movie. It's called Buffy the Vampire Slayer, starring Christy Swanson, Luke Perry, David Arquette, Pee Wee Herman, Rutger Hauer.
Davey said David Arquette.
Yeah.
Hilary Swank is in it.
Oh yes, Hilary Swank is in that, isn't she? She's one of Buffy's friends. She's one of Buffy's friends. Yeah. Donald Sutherland. Donald Sutherland is in that movie as well. There is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, and it is amazing. If you haven't seen it, Coyle, I highly recommend it. It's what came before the TV show. Yeah, it's pure 90s cheese, but it's also really fucking good.
I haven't seen it in 20 years, but I'd still watch it.
I saw it last month because it's one of those movies that if I see it's on or if I stumble across it, I'll just watch it.
I'm not gonna hate that.
Yeah, but yeah, all right. So what was your answer again? Yours was Roger Rabbit, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and mine is The Lost Boys. I would love to see a Lost Boys TV show. Just throwing that out there into the universe. If it ever
mine out into the ether.
Yeah, Roger Rabbit, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a good shout. Like I would definitely watch that. Would you make it adult themed or would you make it kid friendly?
I think you make it like the movie.
So aimed at kids but with some adult humor in it? Yeah,
like the noir, like the detective shit. I mean the adult like kind of innuendo for like the sex jokes in the movie. Like those are the best kids movies. The ones that obviously Pixar movies, they're geared towards kids.
Yeah.
But no kid is going to understand the first 5 minutes of Up. Like that type, like shit like that where it's geared towards kids, but it's meant like adults can watch it.
Gotcha. All right.
But I just want to see like what Judge Doom would look like as an actual cartoon.
Yeah, they never really showed you, did they? They imply it. Yeah.
You just see him at the end with like the crazy eyes.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I don't know how Judge Doom comes back, but in my version, he comes back.
In my version, he comes back. I mean, you know, you can have that be like the season 1 finale, where Judge Doom comes back.
Yeah, it's leading up to that.
Yeah, like everyone, like the whole series, everyone's talking about like, you know, oh, he's returning, and then he returns. I can see that.
Maybe Judge Doom is now like a CG cartoon.
There you go. See, there you go. Update it. Make it make sense. By the way, did you see the Space Jam trailer?
Yes, and I can't fucking wait. It looks like shit, but I'll still watch it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's on HBO Max anyway, so it's not like I'm paying for it.
I guess so. I was a little disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. He gets drawn back to life. There you go. See, Riz got a good idea there.
I will say this about the Space Jam. I've only seen LeBron. Well, he's only been in one movie. He actually wasn't bad in that movie.
What movie?
It was that Amy Schumer movie, Trainwrecked, which actually had John Cena in it.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay. Was it Paul Rudd? No.
It's Bill Hader.
Bill Hader. Thank you. All right. So I think with that, we're gonna close the podcast portion of the evening out. So thanks everyone for coming. I'm not signing off. I don't know, Pumpkin, what are you up to? Do you want to keep going? Want to play a little? Or are you going to bed? I don't know. I didn't really choose anything.